We all knew it, especially here in the freedom community, but I think this information needs to get out even though we already knew this. But yesterday, Mark Zuckerberg admitted to Congress that the Harris-Biden administration did in fact coerce Facebook to censor Americans on his Facebook and Instagram sites, including humor and satire posts, as well as those of us in the Second Amendment community. Before I show you the letter that he sent to Jim Jordan, I want to thank the sponsor of the video, that's AmmoSquared. Guys, join over 30,000 people in joining AmmoSquared. It's a budget-friendly way to build a stockpile of ammo. It's customizable to your budget, so you can buy as little as a few dollars a month and let it grow over time, or buy a whole bunch all at once so you can have it when you need it. It's truly an automated set-it-and-forget-it ammo purchasing program. Pick your calibers, your budget, select your shipping trigger, and Bob's your uncle. It builds up over time and is delivered automatically when you want it. It's kind of like an ammo savings account. There's no minimum to buy, no memberships needed, and no extra fees. Head on over to AmmoSquared and start your stockpile that best fits your budget today. All right, guys, let's take a peek at this letter where you tell me. Make a comment down below if you think this letter, in this letter, Mark Zuckerberg perjured himself. Because he's been in front of Congress before and said that this stuff didn't happen, if I remember correctly. Let me know if you think he perjured himself. Here's the letter that was sent yesterday to Jim Jordan, who is, as you know, the chairman of the Committee on the Judiciary in the United States House of Representatives. Zuck said, "Chairman Jordan, I appreciate the committee's interest in content moderation on online platforms. As you are aware, Meta has produced thousands of documents as part of your investigation and made a dozen employees available for transcribed interviews. Further to our cooperation with your investigation, I welcome the opportunity to share what I have taken away from this process." There's a lot of talk right now around how the US government interacts with companies like Meta, and I want to be clear about our position. Our platforms are for everyone. We're about promoting speech and helping people connect in a safe and secure way. As part of this, we regularly hear from governments around the world and others with various concerns around public discourse and public safety. In 2021, senior officials from the Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressured our teams for months to censor certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire, and expressed a lot of frustration with our teams when we didn't agree. Ultimately, it was our decision whether or not to take content down, and we own our decisions, including COVID-19 related changes we made to our enforcement in the wake of this pressure. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it. I also think we made some choices that, with the benefit of hindsight and new information, we wouldn't make today. Like I said to our teams at the time, I feel strongly that we should not compromise our content standards due to pressure from any administration in either direction, and we're ready to push back if something like this happens again. In a separate situation, the FBI warned us about a potential Russian disinformation operation about the Biden family and Burisma in the lead up to the 2020 election. That fall, we saw a New York Post story reporting on corruption allegations involving then Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's family. We sent that story to fact checkers for review and temporarily demoted it while waiting for a reply. It's since been made clear that the reporting was not Russian disinformation, and in retrospect, we shouldn't have demoted the story. We've changed our policies and processes to make sure this doesn't happen again. For instance, we no longer temporarily demote things in the United States while waiting for fact checkers. Apart from the content moderation, I want to address the contributions I made during the last presidential cycle to support electoral infrastructure. The idea here was to make sure local election jurisdictions across the country had the resources they needed to help people vote safely during a global pandemic. I made these contributions through the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. They were designed to be nonpartisan, spread across urban, rural, and suburban communities. Still, despite the analysis I've been showing otherwise, I know that some people believe this work benefited one party over the other. My goal is to be neutral and not play a role one way or another, or to even appear to be playing a role. So I don't plan on making a similar contribution this cycle. Respectfully, Mark Zuckerberg, founder, chairman, and CEO of Meta Platforms, Inc. So why is he coming out with this now, Zuckerberg? Well, that's because now my buddy, Andrew Bailey, who's America's Attorney General, the AG from Missouri, he sued them and exposed the behind-the-scenes facts now that the FBI and the White House were pressuring social media, including Meta, Facebook, and Instagram, to suppress the free speech of American citizens. That's the only reason he's coming out with it, is because he was caught. And like I said, I think he perjured himself. So we'll see what Jim Jordan does with this, but I also wanted to put this information out for the big reason is how much our community on his platforms have been suppressed. I have been stuck at 55,000 subscribers on Instagram for over 5 years. So if you are on Instagram, go over and subscribe to Guns and Gadgets. I'll have a link down below to see if it even moves, because it hasn't moved in years, but I get constant confirmation that people are joining. But it's the BS like that we have to deal with. How many of us in our community, like Iraq Veteran 8888 and other manufacturers, have been deplatformed altogether for free speech? Are they going to get their pages back? Are they going to get their Facebook page and their Instagram page, their ability to have free speech? Are they going to get that back on those platforms? Or is Mark Zuckerberg doing like what we call in New Orleans, the crawfish? He's backing away from this as fast as he can, trying to distance himself from the fact that they did it willingly, knowingly, and in violation of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. And they're open for this lawsuit to be punched in the face. So good on my friend now. I'm glad to call him a friend, Andrew Bailey, the Attorney General in Missouri. Missouri, you got a really, really good one. So in November, make sure you give him his re-election. He's done. He's earned it. He's suing the Biden administration left and right when others aren't. So good on the AG's office, and poo-poo on the Zuck. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Let me know down below, did he perjure himself or not? Subscribe to the channel if you want to stay in the know. Let's get more information like this out. How can you help? 4 things. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, turn it on to all notifications, make a comment on the video. Takes about 45 seconds of your life to accomplish that, but it absolutely helps destroy the anti-gun algorithm on YouTube. All of us in this freedom community need that from the viewership, and I would be greatly appreciative if you could help that on this channel as well. I'll see you all in the next one. Check out AmmoSquared. Take care.